Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the GTR Player Podcast. You're here today with none other than Dan from Victoria. Dan, welcome to the show.
G'day. Thanks for having me.
No problems, mate. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here, mate. It's been a while, not too long, but a little while since we hosted you at KTSO. And having you on the show, fresh, returning off the back of the Warhammer World Championships of Warhammer.
Yeah.
How was that, mate?
Yeah, it was good. It was a lot of fun. Luckily, I was there with some of the other Aussie guys. Mike Burke did a lot of the social heavy lifting for us, introducing us to a lot of people that he'd met in the previous year. Hanging out with your Sydney Alex. He was rooming with me and Berkey in one of the apartments, and then also having fellow Alex Watson from Victoria up there as well. So there was 4 of us representing Oz. It was a lot of fun. The games were good. I learned so much from the games that I played. I learned heaps about the game of Kill Team, which was really cool. But the most fun stuff was definitely all the after hours, after dark stuff, socializing, meeting up with people, talking about the game and what we love, and going out and, just kicking it and socializing and having a few drinks, knocking back a few bevies, convincing some people to do shoeies. And
So to sum it all up, shenanigans, right?
Yes, very much just stereotypical Australian shenanigans over there. So I made an effort to have some little Australian souvenirs to give to everyone that I played. And so I had little clip-on koalas with flags and caramello koalas and Tim Tams and the compulsory Vegemite test that everyone had to do. So not everyone, but most people that I played with, they got to try a bit of Vegemite. And some people were like, this is horrible. What are you doing? And some people were like, yeah, it's all right. I don't understand it, but sure.
The solid Aussie thing, the mandated Aussie, you must try, have a koala.
Yeah.
That's awesome, mate. That's awesome. And Dan, tell me, being Vic-based, such an awesome scene in Victoria. We've got some amazing players down there. Share a bit with regards to your scene.
We I think we're probably smaller than you guys up there now, and it's good to see Brisbane is growing pretty quick as well. We've got, I would say it's small, but strong, consistent, that kind of vibe. So a few really good regulars and some experienced veterans. And, we've had some people that have kind of dropped off the map a little bit that were playing last edition, but we've had a lot of people coming into it this edition, which has been really good. The main sort of spots would be plenty of games in the city. I'm trying to push people to play up in the north in the gaming arena up in Coburg, great venue up there. There's a little bit of play down in Geelong in the southwest in Seaview, and way out on the east side in Ringwood area. I think there's a little bit of a scene there, but not too much to my knowledge. And then down in the southeast, we've got one of the guys, Aaron, has been pushing pretty hard to grow the scene down there and help build it up at sort of Gameology Clayton and the areas down there. So we've got lots of little hubs around Victoria where we try to play a bit, but yeah, it's been good.
It's a solid scene, mate. Solid scene. I remember every time I came down for work, and I used to swing by Pog and some other spots. It was just good to see a strong community just playing, grassroots Kill Team, which was phenomenal. Pog is like a staple, right, for Kill Team and Vic. Yeah.
We kind of started there with Stewie. That was the first sort of place that I was playing a lot of, and then some of the other venues, and they would have events on different nights of the week. Last edition, a few years ago, I was playing Kill Team 4 or 5 nights every week, so it was really good. Solid. Not as much now, but we continue to sort of be small but steady, I would say.
Yeah, no, and that's honestly like that's a great foundation, and it's to your point, it flexes in different locations. I know you guys used to have a couple of spots like Westgate and Axes and Ales, and I think there's still a big 40K scene happening there. But I think Kill Team's still got a lot of play, because I think this edition, really dives into the way the game is evolving and adding to all the layers. So I think returning players come back to it and go, oh, this isn't just, the Kill Team we used to play. It's actually much cooler. And, what people thought were game-breaking mechanics are actually the evolution of Kill Team, in my opinion, especially with the latest box, Dead Silence, and the Wolf Scouts, as well as the XV26 battle suits. I mean, I think the game is turning into something really special.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of the new teams just be full jam-packed of flavor in the rules writing for them, and like when you look at it from that perspective, it's great. But when you look at it from the really hyper competitive, I'm focused on balance, it's sort of perspective, then you can see a little bit of a skew or a little bit of a power creep and a little bit of an imbalance. But the actual rules writing for them is really cool. Like there's always a theme to every team. That's what I would say. There's the matrix for the Canoptic. There's the storm for the new Wolf Scouts. There's like very, very flavorful, stealthy, bouncing around kind of mechanics and themes for the new stealth suits. It's not just run forward, roll dice, blow things up. There's a lot of flavor inside of every team at the moment, which is really cool.
Yeah, no, solid. And look, you've got a couple of really strong events that happen in Victoria, right? I know ArcFest was a big one for Kill Team, and then obviously, the OCC finals again over at the Gaming Arena. Share us a bit more insight into those events.
Yeah, Arc is a good one. Lap Scallion ran it last year, this year, 2025. The sort of theme with Arc is that it's got a narrative aspect to it, because that's sort of the root origins for Arc. It started as like a Necromunda event. So for Kill Team match play, that's kind of hard to make work at a mechanics level, but he did a really good job of having this little overall story that would evolve over each round. So it was a pretty cool way he did it. Whenever you won your round, he'd give you a piece of paper and say, this is the story, this is what's happened. Do you want to do A or B? And it might be like destroy the technology or share it with the faction or something. And then at the end of that round, gets all of those together, figures out what how the story is going to progress based on majority rules. And so the story started to evolve that way. And like in terms of getting a golden ticket for the event, the story stuff, not too much to really be something to be super interested in, but it was just this cool little add-on to what would normally just be like, this is the Swiss pairings for round 1, round 2, round 3. So we got a little added story thrown into it. And then, we got the OC. Yeah, don't go.
I was going to say bit of flavor, as you'd say, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know how relevant it is to sort of the Kill Team universe, but he could have tied it into that, I guess. But no, it was fun. Yeah, Arc was good. Big turnout for it. And then, as you said, we've got the OCC finals in Gaming Arena. That's something that I'll need to be organising with Josh Diffie. And then I think we've also got the Melbourne Open, should be running again, run by Lap, and I'll be helping him with it as well. Similar kind of thing, just another hopefully large event that we have down here in Melbourne that we can draw some interstate people down to play at.
For sure, mate, for sure. Definitely going to be something I'm going to check out for sure. Now, when we talk about, Dan, you love Kill Team. I love Kill Team. Everybody who's probably listening loves Kill Team. But it's really interesting when we talk about the game and then we talk about where you can potentially go with the game. And in the last one of the last episodes, we had Alexa talking about his journey. But I'd love to hear from you, given back from the time you and I played our first game, where I think it was Legionaries versus Commandos, and your knob did that crazy dynamite move on my Legionary. I'd love to hear about your journey, mate, from really early games like that, as well as the transition to your competitive kind of play style, and then ending up at somewhere as amazing as the World Championships of Warhammer. Can you give us just a little bit of an insight with your progress throughout the game, leveling up, and how you prepped for Worlds?
Yeah, definitely. So I played Warhammer as a kid back in sort of the early 2000s, 3rd edition, 4th edition. But being a little 14, 15-year-old kid, you don't really know what you're doing, and it was fun. Don't get me wrong, had a blast with it. And then when I got a bit older, I sort of dropped out of the hobby. The Death Core of Krieg Kill Team is what sucked me back into it. Those plastic models. There was a lots of every now and then looking at it and being like, oh yeah, it's kind of cool. Oh yeah, it's kind of tempting. But those models were like, all right, I can't resist anymore.
That was the hook, right? That was what brought you back in.
Yeah.
And hey, they are still some amazing models, right?
Yeah. I had some of the Forge World models from way back, so that's why when they came out in plastic, it was like, oh, okay, sweet, we can do like awesome siege line models now without having to play around with this stupid resin. But so that's what dragged me back into it, and Kill Team really hooked me. I got every box, got every Kill Team. The list is shorter of what I don't own, so I don't have the AdMech, the Hunterclade, the White Dwarf AdMech, the White Dwarf Warp Coven, or the White Dwarf Wordblade. I've got everything else, every other Kill Team.
That's phenomenal.
I'm a fiend. I'm a absolute goblin. They're not all painted, so
they never are, mate. They never are.
They get built, they get played with, and if I like them, then they earn their paint. Otherwise, they sit in grey purgatory. So
solid, mate, solid. But it doesn't stop you from playing them, right?
And no, you got to play them.
We no longer copped a 2-point loss for them not being painted, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I got back into it through Kill Team, and that then was a bit of a gateway to some of the other game systems as well, like 40k and Spearhead. I love Spearhead. I think it's actually the most fun game that Games Workshop has made that I've played. But Kill Team just definitely has that special place in your heart. It's like I liken it to eating spicy food. It's very painful until you get that tolerance. Once you've built up a tolerance and you're used to it, it starts to taste really well, and then you just can't get enough.
True story. That's such a good analogy, mate. I think that's spot on, right? Because it's like, my God. Even when I picked up the stealth suits, I'm like, oh my God, I got to retrain my brain. And then by the third game, I'm like, oh, okay, now it's like, now I'm swinging into it. Yeah, mate, that's fantastic.
Yeah. I definitely have a newfound love for Kill Team. It was a little hard to transition from last edition to the new one, and there's still a lot of habits that I'm trying to unlearn a year later. Just the nature of last edition, the way it worked, there was more objectives, you were scoring on turn one, so there was a lot more urgency to be efficient in turn one, and even in your deployment there was way more alpha strikes, so there's just this complete PTSD on how you're going to deploy things and not grouping up too much. But now it's really safe if you play safe for the first turn and a half. So to your point of the stealth suits, I was playing one of the guys, Aaron, at POG yesterday. It's on Sunday, and like he's moving from cover to cover in his deployment zone. I'm like, what are you doing? I can't shoot you. He's like, oh yeah, I've just got that PTSD. It's like, that's fair enough.
It's so true. It's like, as long as you're outside of 3 inches and I'm in conceal, it's a nut.
Yeah. All you need to measure is the distance. You don't have to worry about the cover lines. So. I've definitely enjoyed the new approved ops 2025 as well. I think that's improved the game a lot, and I think might have made my interests in the game and my interest in playing the game and getting better at it a little bit more refined and a little bit stronger than it was, say, 6 months ago, 8 months ago. Yeah, the new deck is great. I think it's a big improvement personally. I don't know if other people feel the same, but I think it's really, really good now. And also the map layouts are really good now. They're just different,
Yeah.
especially the Volcus maps. The staging areas, I think, are a little bit better for a slow burn game. So anyway,
I think the only thing I've heard that people have a problem with is the fact that they didn't redo the Gallo Dark maps, right? Everything else was great. Just the copy and paste of the Gallo Dark maps really rubbed some people up the wrong way.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little bit of a sign of things to come, I think. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Tomb World is a big improvement on the way that close quarter play works in terms of setting up the board. It's not as good, but the way it plays, I think, is better than Gallo Dark, personally.
Yeah, look,
it's different, but yeah.
You can make Gallo Dark like Tomb World, right? Yeah. And the thing that I like about Tomb World is, to your point, of the maps, the map layouts. But what I don't like is the way that it's held together, like those paddle pop boomerangs used to make as a kid.
It's horrible.
Peg and then watch it just, at KTSO. Leroy and Sam were playing a game, and I've spoken about this before, and they've turned the table sideways to play long ways, and Leroy's just lifted up his hands and bumped the table, and I've just seen the whole terrain just fall to pieces. And that's something that Gallo Dark doesn't have a problem with, because you can bump Gallo Dark and the whole thing just moves along with it, right? So I think from a map layout perspective, it's fantastic. But as a TO and managing terrain and so forth, it's a bit of a challenge, right?
Yeah, no, I agree with you there.
Yeah, but reflecting again on your journey, right? And we spoke about your transition and the way you basically had to retrain your brain and get used to eating, spicy food. How has your journey in terms of the way you've played changed? I mean, we've spoken about, playing it safe, no alpha strikes, but we spoke about the flavor of some of the teams. Are you bringing out some of the flavor in existing teams that weren't there based on the way the game was played last edition versus this one?
For the old teams, I'm not sure. I haven't thought about that one too much, but the Hand of Archon changes recently. I picked up Hand of Archon again, gave him a few tries, and playing them just with the different mentality of a slow burn kind of approach, and not trying to rush forwards and things like that has just made the sort of back and forth and alternate activation dynamic a little bit more manageable. The played Mandrakes, they still sort of feel the same. I think that honestly, I think the new teams have way more flavor than the old teams do. Like Wreckers, just so full of flavor. I love them. They're my favorite team by far.
Hilarious.
They're just fun. They're just silly. I got shown how to play them as well, by Ben. He showed me some moves with them, and I'm integrating that into the way that I play them now. Same with Mandrakes, like Netra from Spain at the Worlds. I played against him. He was playing the Mandrakes, and he showed me a completely different play style to the way that I play them. So that was really cool to learn from. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the new teams, you can say what you will about power creep and the imbalance side of things, but the flavor of their rules, I think, is undeniable. It just feels really, really good, and they're all sort of built around that sort of central mechanic.
I think it's the evolution, right? I think it's the way how I perceive it is the game is fundamentally evolving and heading in a really good direction. We saw some, what people called initially game-breaking mechanics with the Jaegers and so forth. But I think that was where it started to change for me, right? Them being able to shoot in the strategic phase, like I think that was actually like a sign of things to come as we've started to see everything else roll in, right?
Yeah, it's added mental load for sure, because you can't just rely on like templating on the way that a team is set up. And we use terms and shortcuts like super conceal or parry 2-for-1, what we call a parry 2-for-1, or double parry or double block, something like that. These are templated ideas, but then they throw a spanner in the works with a completely new and unique mechanic, like charging in the strat phase, like paying a CP to disengage after you get charged. And now it's like your opponent has to build up the knowledge base and have that mental load of like identifying all the combos that you've set up, both aggressively and defensively. So if I want to charge the stealth suits, I need to have 2 or 3 charges set up, because you're going to run away from the first one. And if you're near a drone, I know that you can save your protocols. And so I got to like pick, do I sacrifice here to draw out this ploy and this mechanic that you've got, or do I just keep back and play it safe? And yeah, it's the difference as well between relying on someone making a mistake or a blunder, and knowing that you have to force that reaction somewhere and then deal, like now they don't have access to it anymore, so now I can push and be aggressive over here instead. So a lot of like resource management, but it's that mental load of knowing what the team can do. And it's easier when it's templated things like parry 2-for-1, like stealthy, retain a crit save kind of things. And it's a little bit harder when it is a completely new mechanic. So I agree with you that the game is definitely evolving, and I think it's good. I think it's going in a really good direction. Whether it's harder for new people to get into it, or whether it's harder for veterans to adapt to the changes, I'm not sure. But I know that I struggle every now and then when they have these big changes, because it's like, oh no, this is how it used to work. Does it still work that way? And then we have to pull up the rules, and it's like, we just wasted 5 minutes because this is how the team used to be versus how it is now. And it's good. Yeah.
No, for sure. And I think that's a good point you make, because look, having the Wolf Scouts charge in the strategy phase is a lot more important if the Wolf Scouts have actually won initiative. Because to your point, if they haven't and it charges, my stealth suit on conceal can fall back for 1 AP less, right? So the game definitely is evolving. And I think, taking out the mechanics of scouting but putting in the rerolls was a really good thing as well, right? I think that just brought a way different mechanic. And to your point, the mental brain load of deciding when you want to cash in some of those rerolls versus when your opponent might want to, and what you might have to do initially to mitigate some of what they're thinking about doing, especially in the 3rd and 4th turning point, is really important, right? So, mate, that's some great insights there. And again, from a progress standpoint, and having to retrain yourself, I think that's key. And I think any time a balanced data slate or an errata comes out, it's almost like a mini retrain as well, because some of the jank you would use might not be available anymore. But as a result, some of the what we would call, more traditional teams in terms of power creep might actually come up. And we've seen that happen a couple of times as well, right? Just focusing on your experience at Worlds, what was your favorite game?
Game 6 for me, the last game of the pods that we were in, the Top Cup pods. It was against a Canadian. He was playing Chaos Cults. I wanna say his name's Dave, but now I can't quite remember. But I'm hoping it is. If it's not, I apologize. But it was definitely the most fun game, because we both were in a position where neither of us was going to make the top cut just because of the way that the people ahead of us had their win path, their tournament points and stuff. So we knew that, like, best case scenario, we're one of us is coming third, so we're not making it out. So just decided to be silly and muck around. And I said, yeah, I'm just coming at you. I'm just like full sending. I'm telling you now, I'm just going to full send. And I was playing Nemclaw, and he was playing Chaos Cults. And he's just hanging back, not doing anything, which is surprising to me because, again, this is not how I would play Chaos Cults. I'm a much more aggressive kind of player. He's just hanging back for turn 1, turn 2, going into turn 3, still sort of hanging back. And I've just been sending people trying to get double kills here and there. And we get time clocked. And so now we have to try and play fast to finish it out. And now, for me, that's good because I've only got 6 models to begin with. But for him, he's got to think about 14, or maybe it's down to 12 or 11 now. So he starts to make mistakes that I can then capitalize on to get some double kills here and there, and ended up squeezing out the win by, I think, 1 point or 2 points in the end. It basically came down to like whether one dice roll had gone a certain way or another. But like, we just had so much fun playing that game, just doing silly things. I got my plasma gunner got a charge kill with "We have come for you," which then allowed him to trigger proclivity for murder to dash forwards to then point blank blast into someone with his plasma gun. And he commented, "That was really good play. I didn't see that coming," kind of thing. And I was like, yes, I didn't see it either until the situation was there. But hey, this is why we sometimes play Kill Team. But yeah, a lot of fun.
It presented itself, you capitalized, and you got in for the win.
Well, it's my turn to activate, and I'm just like thinking what I'm going to do, and I'm like, yeah, I can ping pong off of this devotee that's got like 2 wounds left if I get enough damage on "We have come for you." And sure enough, we roll a 3 or a 4 or whatever, get enough damage, and then that lets him bloop, bloop, and then blow someone's face up. But yeah,
solid.
That was definitely my most favorite game at Worlds. Yep.
And tell us, what are some of the best things about Worlds?
You will learn a lot, for sure. Like, I learned that I don't know nearly as much about the game as I need to. Yeah. And I learned that there's a completely different way to play the game, and just the knowledge that some people had on their team and then on my team, the Nemclaw, it just meant that they could see like all of the rakes that I had and avoid stepping on them and getting smacked in the face. So a lot of my prep going into Worlds was playing with Mike Burke, and we were playing different teams against each other. And nice. Whenever I'd be playing Nemclaw, I'd be kind of trying the same strategies, setting up threats where the Ventriloquist can pull you out and give the Screecher a charge combo or a missile launcher blast combo, and setting up the Screecher on the doors so that it's getting the fight first and deny it. Like a lot of the same kind of trap strategies here and there. And then at Worlds, when people know Nemclaw, they know what's coming. They can see what I'm trying to do, and they just avoid it. And then I'm like, okay. Yeah, well, now I'm on the back foot, and I'm getting put in these tough positions where I don't know what I can do with my activations, and I can see what you're doing, and what you're doing is just delay, and then I'm exhausted on activations, and either I've pushed up to try and threaten, and now you come in and shoot me, or I'm just conceding the center and hoping to get initiative and then ping pong off you next turn, but I'm still behind on a few points, and you can just bleed me out. You can just wait me out and win by 2 points. Like, I had some really low scoring games that I lost because that's exactly what happened. They just projected threat to scare me away, and they held off long enough that eventually I was like, well, I just have to push now. And when we did push and start to force some kind of engagement and fighting, that's when my scores start catching up a little bit. But one bad roll and it goes the complete opposite way. So it's very much who's taking the risks and who's making those mistakes first. And that's where the really good players, I think, excel. They can force you into the mistakes rather than just kind of hoping that you'll make those blunders.
Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, being outplayed is probably the best way to win at Kill Team, in my opinion, because if you're, they're just quoting Travis and Jason from Just Another Kill Team podcast, you can unga bunger it, but you really won't learn anything out of that. It's just to run up the board. So to really stage threats, assess threats, and counter threats is where it's at, right?
Yeah, definitely. And just like being able to see the sequencing of events that's going to most likely happen and then manage that. And something I've been thinking about is planning or making moves and decisions for the next turning point, not for this turning point. And you can see that like the really good players, they're playing 2-3 turns ahead.
And pivoting where necessary, right? Because what you're thinking might happen, might not. You've got to be able to pivot from that. Yeah, phenomenal, mate. And just reflecting on WCW, would you recommend it to people?
Yeah, definitely. Yes, 100%. If you get the opportunity to go, it doesn't matter like whether you think you'll get smoked or whether you think you can win it. Like, definitely go. I don't know if I was just lucky or not, or if it helps to have a good friendly kind of personality, but I didn't have any, or maybe one like iffy kind of situation, but I didn't have any situations or problems with players. If we called over judges, it was less about something that was a contention and more about we don't know what the situation is supposed to be here kind of thing. Yeah, it's more like a clarification as opposed to like, well, I think I'm in cover and you don't think I'm in cover. Let's get a judge. There wasn't a lot of that. It would still happen every now and then. But the way to circumvent that is to just like play with intentions and agree on stuff before you go and do it. And it's not until you make sloppy moves that it's like, oh no, I'm not hard up against the wall. Yeah, that's my bad. I should have. But so other than that, like, yeah, everyone was super friendly. And again, I think the best part of it was all of the after dark stuff, all of the meeting people, socializing, going out. Like you're making these contacts that if you do go again and they're there as well, you're just going to instantly be able to catch up and, like catch up. How's it been? How's it going? Let's hang out and spend the week, going out, having dinners and just having a blast in general. So
that's phenomenal, mate. That's phenomenal. And you definitely go again, yeah?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
100%.
Definitely if it's somewhere else. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard about the wildlife in Atlanta, and it's interesting. But yeah, I think fingers crossed. Fingers crossed if we all believe it and we all manifest it. It might end up somewhere else, right? Like hopefully Europe. I mean, if it was in the UK or something like that, I would go even just to watch, Yeah. Now we've spoken about, our passion for the game, having to retrain our brains, from edition to edition, how the game's evolving, how it's got a lot more flavor and spice. But there are other elements to the game as well. And I'm so glad I'm able to talk to you about this because you brought them to KTSO. And you actually won Best Painted along with Mikey Hood. Shout out, Mikey. You both did an absolutely phenomenal job, but please tell me about your Nemesis Claw because they're not just any normal Nemesis Claw. And I must say, when you sent me the photos to get the okay, my jaw hit the floor. Because not only did you do an amazing job at painting, the conversions in terms of volume and poses for the miniatures were almost identical. The only things that I could point out that were different were obviously the backpacks, right? walk us through your Nemesis Claw, mate.
Yeah, thanks. So they are the Nemesis Lion's Claw is what I call them, just because they are Dark Angel Reavers that play as Nemesis Claw. So yeah, I've always wanted to do, because I like the Nemesis Claw game play rules. But I don't like Night Lords. I think they're just edgy for the sake of being edgy. They're gratuitously violent and disgusting humans. So I didn't really want to play them, but if they want me to use those models, I'll use those models. But yeah, I always wanted to do the loyalist ones, and I'd done a little bit of research and seen what some other people had done. There's this really, really good Blood Angels conversion. They look fantastic. I've seen them on the internet. There was some other Dark Angels conversions as well, but I was trying to figure out what would be like the closest, not just in poses and things, but also in sort of theme. And for me, Reavers, the Phobos armor Reavers, they're like terror troops. They're the Imperial Loyalist terror troops. They run in screaming. The Phobos Reaver rules. They've got similar kind of, again, templates and patterns as the Nemclaw, some of the stuff that they can do, and just the feel and the vibe for them. So yeah, I thought I'll do Reavers. So got some Reavers, went through my bits box, bought some bits box stuff from eBay, and put them together and made them the Lion's Claw. I had a lot of fun doing them. I put a lot of effort into the conversion as well as the actual paint jobs, and so they're definitely like a point of pride for me. I've started to really enjoy doing conversions and doing customization on kill teams. I have Khorne scouts, so my scout squad are actually like bits from Jackals and Necromunda Goliath, awesome. Shotguns, and lots of chaos bits and bobs on them. I never finished painting them, sadly, but I'll finish them off one day. Yeah.
Slay the grey.
Yeah. We'll get there. But I'm just starting to really enjoy the converting side of the hobby now and the customizing side of the hobby, and I'm just like getting flooded with ideas now. Like Skaven ratlings, like ratlings. Wrecker crew, but they're using noise marine weapons and perfect blades.
Yeah, flawless blades.
Flawless blades, yeah. Like using, it's like they've looted a bunch of stuff from some Emperor's Children and doing that kind of stuff. I've been doing a conversion for Wolf Scouts just now, so
nice.
I think that when it's within reason and when you put a lot of effort into it and you make something that's really, really unique, people don't have a problem playing against those kind of teams as long as they kind of fit the silhouette and things like that. Yeah.
Solid, mate. Solid. Look, yeah, the other aspect of the game hobby scene that I love is the community side of it. You've mentioned a couple of spot locations and so forth, but how important is it for the community to come together and support each other, whether it's intro games in for new players, learning games or developing games to skill up and so forth, as well as the social element of it? I mean, how important is that in Victoria?
Yeah, it's definitely like a priority, just because if you have people and they come and they play and if they get beat too hard, then they bounce off, and if they don't enjoy the game, then they bounce off. And so especially when you're onboarding with people, you don't want to just crush their spirits. Like you don't learn anything from going 21-3 against someone who's played the game for the first time. So like even in tournaments, when people come to their first tournament, if I know that they're still learning, and not to say that they're bad at the game, but I'll be able to win, right, with one arm behind my back kind of thing. So to just completely flatten them and crush them is going to make them feel demotivated and discouraged. But if I can show them sort of the back and forth of the game, and like teach them and have them learn a bunch really, really quickly in this baptism of fire, then what we see is that it's like spicy food. They build up a little bit more of that tolerance, and they start to enjoy it more, and they start to see like the finesse in the game and the game rules and the dynamics of the positioning and the angles and the distances. These are all elements that you don't get from reading the rule book. You have to play the game to sort of have that click of like, oh, because you're faster, you can position in a perfect sort of position where you can get me, but I can't get you. And now they can start to see these really interesting dynamics. So yeah, I think that like making sure that people enjoy their early games, even if they lose, because let's face it, Kill Team is a ruthless game. You're probably going to lose, especially if you're playing against someone who is trying to win. And it's a game of knowledge as well. So chances are they know your team better than you do. So once again, to just sit across the table in dead silence and completely like trash them and not engage with them, or be like, just like help them out a little bit, even though you're going to win anyway. Again, you don't need to win by 20 points. Winning by 1 point is fine. And if you can do that, they're probably going to enjoy losing better than getting absolutely flogged. So, yeah,
true story, definitely. And look, I think the biggest thing that I've realized is what you mentioned about welcoming people into the game in a way where they can absorb it the way they need to. And some people sit there and read the rules 20 times, and they're a literal learner. So they'll read and they'll come and they'll play and they'll get it. And I've seen some people do that really well. But me, I like throwing myself into the deep end and losing a few games with a team before it starts to click with me. So being able to walk people through and let them consume the game and learn the game and absorb the game the way they need to, I think is really important. But doing it with care is definitely front and center always, right? And if you could sum up why people should give Kill Team a go, how would you pitch it?
Okay, it's definitely cheaper to get into than like big 40K.
Yeah.
Especially if you are a disciplined kind of person that can stick to just like one team at a time. If you're not, buyer beware. But
yeah,
it's easy to get into, but it's very hard to master. Yeah, it's the most competitive by design game system that I've really encountered. But again, I'm not like a high level 40K competitive player, so maybe that really does take the cake. But from all the other sort of games that I've played, it's definitely the most competitive because it's just completely brutally unforgiving. The lethality in it is like I haven't played a game where you can just lose to, let's say you're playing a 5 operative team, you could just lose 40% of your entire force to a double kill from something that's just as big and scary. Like,
geez, you're selling it really well there, Dad.
That in a lot of games, it's again, it's spicy food. Like you've got to really enjoy the pain to get through that, and then start to really enjoy it afterwards. I would say that it's rewarding once you really start to understand it. But like, it's definitely a curve. It's easy to get into, then it's really, really difficult as you start to learn, and then it starts to get a little bit more easy to understand and to like see what's going to happen, and to start to have a little bit of foresight into the way that the game is evolving and what you can do and how you can engage with the game as well as with the other player across the table from you.
It is the risk versus reward thing, right? It is, and the thrill of the game, right? And outplaying. That's the thing I love the most, because to your point, you could make a dumb move or you could not see something happening. And to your point, you might lose a Death Watch operative, which essentially is 20% of your entire force, right? Two of those, 40% to your comment earlier. But I think the thing I like is definitely the thrill of boxing people in or baiting people out and watching them make a mistake and then capitalizing on it. That's why I love it.
Yeah. I think that's a part of that's a stage that you will go through as a player when you're getting into it and when you're learning it. And that's something that I feel like I've been in for quite a while. And what I've started to come out of after going to Worlds is the next stage of you can't have a plan that relies on your opponent making a mistake. Because if they don't step in your poo-poo that you've put on the ground, if they don't step on a rake and get smacked in the face, your plan is out the window. You need to build not only a plan where you are projecting threat and putting out traps and trying to outplay your opponent if they make a mistake, but you also need, and you need to be like in a position where you can capitalize on that if the opportunity presents it, but you still need a game plan of how you're going to get out of a bad matchup, because sometimes the matchup, if the two people are of equal, perfect, no mistake skill, the matchup is what's going to determine the outcome. And you can't rely on them making a mistake. So that's something that I've started to learn and something that I'm trying to now figure out. And I have a better appreciation of the meta, the S tier teams. You know, I thought that tier lists were absolute hogwash, but because it's that exact argument. If I'm a better player, I'll beat them, and that is true. Yeah. But the moment you are both of equal skill, it's the tools that you have that are going to start to tip the scales one way or the other. So why would you hamstring yourself? Why wouldn't you play with the strongest team, the best team? And I think that it's better to have a good rock, paper, scissor kind of dynamic within the meta. And I think that's what they've been really good at balancing with FAQs. It's just they're a little bit slow getting out the balanced data slates to like course correct the new releases where teams are completely overpowered. But you know, as we get more and more months forwards, hopefully that's going to come into it and start to balance out those teams so that it isn't just a case of everyone of high skill is always picking team A, B, C because nothing ever beats them.
Yeah. I think the really interesting thing I love to see is both players of equal skill level not play a mirror match, but play a paired box match. So I'd love to see somebody play Canoptech versus Deathwatch. I love to see someone play Wolf Scouts versus XV26 Battlesuits. Like, it's just phenomenal, right? When people of that caliber grab those teams, and it's really a case of gambit moves, to your point, right? You don't want to play too cagey. Somebody has to have a crack. You know, they'll pull a gambit, might pay off, might not pay off, but that's the beauty of the game, right? Having a crack. Dan, tell me, what do you want to see in 2026? What are you looking forward to?
So, like, I guess for our sort of local meta and community, I'd love to see us get better and more focused and more deliberate at the game, and that way, like, if we can raise our floor, we can raise our ceiling. And so the really good skilled players that we have here can get even better and even more competitive at that world level. I'd love to see more people as well start to pick up the game and just like jump headfirst into the high level kind of gameplay and the tournament scene and things like that. From like a releases standpoint, you know, I love Drukari, got Hand of Archon, got Mandrakes, play him in 40k. I'd love to see a Homunculus Coven kill team.
Ooh.
And I think for 40k, we're due Plastic Grotesques. So who knows? I'd love to see another map replace Beta Decima.
No,
Yeah.
Beta Decima's awesome.
Look, it's the same anti-meta mentality. I've wanted Beta Decima to work. I've tried so hard. It just doesn't.
You just got to put it on ground, not water.
I think what it needs is everyone gets 2 light barricades and 2 ladders for free. That's what it needs.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Yeah. That's a hot take.
Just because teams that don't need them have a 2 equipment advantage. Like, that's a lot. That's too much. Also, it needs the objective cover, because we use objective cover. We use the little plastic and put it on the objectives. They need to be heavy. That's the other thing that needs to change, because like gantry's into light cover, and you've got teams that have saturate and severe and ridiculous combo stuff. It's like, I just can't get an objective. It's not a gambit. It's just impossible. Like, you will kill whoever I send there. So it needs a little bit more safety on the flanks. Otherwise, Beta Decima it's okay. It's a different map.
It is a very different map. Yeah. It is a different map indeed. Tell me, with the Murder Wing, are you going to channel your inner Dark Angel energy again and make a team to basically replace those but Dark Angels with jump packs? Or is that blasphemy?
It won't be Dark Angels.
Ooh.
But it will be a loyalist faction. No, I was looking at, because you need someone to be like that possessed, cracked out guy. I actually haven't looked at the Murder Wing properly, but to my knowledge, they're like Warp Talons with an upgrade sprue or something like that. But
correct.
I do know there's some like possessed, busting out of his armor guy. So for me, what's the closest thing? Wolfen. So I'm thinking of doing Space Wolves for it.
Yeah, nice. Because if you did Dark Angels again, you'd be switching Chaos for basically Chaos, right?
Yeah, sure. You can't bait me. You can't make me get all like, oh, the Lion is the best. No. I like Dark Angels for the Deathwing. That's the main reason that I've been like a Dark Angels fan over the years, because Deathwing Terminators are the coolest Terminators, and Deathwing Knights are so awesome. They are so
solid.
Rad.
They're honestly solid. Some of the best models in the game.
Okay. What I would like to see in 2026 is a Terminator armor kill team.
What would that even look like? Are we talking 4 models like Custodes? Are we talking 3? Like, what would that even look like?
Make it 5, but like 2 of them have to teleport from turn 3 or something. I don't know. Like,
I think it'd have to be. If anything, it'd have to be 4. I just don't.
Well, hang on.
Yeah.
You've got 20 wound Raveners.
Yeah, but Raveners, their saves are rubbish. We're talking Terminators. They'd be saving on 2s, right?
Like built-in piercing negation.
Oh, I think one of them should have, but I don't think the others should, right? Like, yeah. But like, I genuinely see them, if they were to be brought back into the game, I'd akin them to Custodes in 2nd edition, right? Who were just garbage, like stupid good.
You could potentially have 3 and then like 2 support characters of some kind, and then there are 5, but 2 of them are like small, easy to kill kind of things. I don't know. Maybe we'll never get Terminators in modern kill team, but like they'd be slow. They'd be a stat check. Yeah. But
look, I think what the people want, even prior to Terminators coming on board, are Exodites. Game designers, sculptors, please make Exodites happen, for God's sakes. We've been waiting too long for spicy space fairies riding dinosaurs. We need them now.
Yeah. I think any request has to be for Kill Team 2027. Like,
true story. It's all pretty much baked in, right?
Yeah. Whatever we're getting was done a year ago. So
I know
what we're getting. But I'm excited. Like, I think it'll be great, whatever it is. I think Kill Team has like just above and beyond exceeded G-Dub's expectations. and like they're just going to put more resources, more attention into it. As long as it's not, too difficult for new people to get into, it's just going to keep growing and growing. So, yeah, it'll be good.
For sure. I'm genuinely looking forward to 2026. I mean, 2025 has been a phenomenal year, especially for Australia. But I think 2026 is going to be even bigger and better, which is phenomenal. Dan, we're coming to the top of the hour, mate. Is there anybody you wanted to shout out or call out, just say a g'day to?
I mean, like, represent VIC, so all just a big shout out to like our community leaders and the people that are just like flagship leading the way for our community here in Melbourne, whether it's organizing things or getting other people into the game. So like Aaron, Lap, Jared, Brody, Broseph, Mike Burke, Alex, all of you guys who have been in the hobby for such a long time, and also some of the new guys that have come into it in the last year and a half, and phenomenal work that you guys are doing, helping to build the Victoria and the VicTac scene. And yeah, that's like, definitely if you are a Victorian and you're interested in Kill Team and you're listening to this, come by any of those venues and get involved in the community. There are plenty of games in the city, Gaming Arena up in Coburg. If you're in Geelong, Seaford on Tuesdays, I'll be there playing. If you're out in the sort of west suburbs, there's I don't know if Westgate's still around, but there's definitely Warplings. There's Warplings is still a great community, Tuesdays and Saturdays. If you're down in sort of Clayton, Mentone area, the Gameology, keep an eye out for them and hit up their store websites or Discords or Facebook groups, and come be part of the Kill Team community. We'll welcome you in, and hopefully it clicks. And you can be a spicy food enjoyer like the rest of us.
Spicy food. Dan, also, thank you so much. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I may as well, while I'm here, give a big props and shout out to yourself for all the work that you do with the Australian Kill Team community, and the guys that are up in Brisbane, and the way that they're sort of building that scene up there as well. So yes, Victorian pride, but also Australia as a whole doing a great job, and hopefully it just keeps growing.
Oh, thank you, Matt. It's very kind of you. Yeah, massive props not only to the Vic team, because I love the guys in Victoria. It's been far too long since I came down to see them, but Queensland, Western Australia is popping off as well. South Australia,
okay.
The guys in ACT, it's cool. Going places, mate, which is phenomenal. So I think the whole country is igniting around the warm glow of Kill Team, and slowly but surely, we'll start to see some states really host some awesome events, which is exciting as well.
Awesome.
Dan, thank you so much for your time. It's been fantastic to have you on the show. It's also been great to hear about your journey, get your insights on WCW, and we'll stay close to your journeys and hopefully have you back on the show again soon.
Oh, all right. Sounds good. Thanks, man.
Thank you so much, mate. Take care. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and we'll catch you on the next one.